Hi, everybody, and thanks for joining. We are here to listen to Marsi's amazing transformation story. If you want, you can click the subscribe button down there so that you can see other transformation stories and learn more about how Marsi did it. And you can also follow us on our free Facebook group, the Unlock Facebook group. The link will be below, or on Instagram at Final Key Wellness. So, Marsi, thank you for joining today. And basically, what I want to know is to have you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your health journey, what it was like, sort of your whole life on the yo-yo health journey.
All right, here we go. Um, I turned 60 this year, so let's start with that and then backwards from there. I had kids when I was about 38 years old, and then I just never lost the weight. I tried and tried, and working out worked for a little while, but I would, fall out of sync with that. Or, a certain program would work for a while, and I just couldn't keep up with the requirements of what I had to eat. I did all the diets from, you only eat this one thing, or eat all this fake food from a box, or I did all those different kinds of diets. And I lost the same 20 pounds probably about 5 times. So, it was a feeling of just chasing something I couldn't attain. And I felt like I was just continually failing because I'd do something for a while and then I'd fall off the wagon. And then I'd start, going after the things that I shouldn't be eating. And what it caused too is over time, I went from, oh, yeah, I'm now on an aspirin regimen with my doctor, to I've added, medication after medication after medication. And finally, I was on a total of about 6 different medications to control blood sugar, high blood pressure, and cholesterol. So all of that, and then, hitting this milestone of turning 60, I didn't want to become another statistic. I've had friends who've had severe health problems, a friend that recently passed away from a heart attack. And I knew the path that I was on wasn't leading up to me having a long and healthy life. And so I needed to make some changes and some big commitments to myself. And that's how I found Courtney.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. Can you tell us a little bit about, so you were on high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and blood sugar medication. Can you tell me a little bit about other things going on in your body, like joint pain, gastro stuff, your mood,
Oh, yeah.
energy,
Check,
energy?
check, check.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the above. And my office, I don't know if you can kind of see my background here. I'm up in the loft of our house, and I have to go up, a couple flights of stairs to get here. And going up and down those stairs all day long, every day, was just killing my knees. I mean, I was holding onto the rail on one side with both hands to go up and down the stairs, and I kind of limped and lurched as I walked, because I couldn't walk straight down the stairs. And I'm up and down the stairs all day now. But also what happened last year was, I went to a podiatrist because I've severely injured my ankle over the years, through different sports activities and stuff like that. And so what was put in front of me was I needed to have some pretty major reconstructive surgery on my ankle. And I decided I didn't want to do that at the weight and the condition that I was in. And so that was another, reason for me starting on a program like this, to really be able to lose some weight, get my muscles strong enough to be able to endure that. But I wasn't able to even walk comfortably, without severe pain, and then having to ice all day long too, in order to lose the weight. So, but now where I'm at, as you know, Courtney, I mean, I can walk, I can run up and down the stairs. We just got back from a week-long trip at Lake Powell, and we were hiking and jet skiing, and my activity level has increased dramatically. And just the day-to-day stuff that we take for granted, and, my body, thinking, oh gosh, I'm 60, so I shouldn't be able to do that anymore. That's not true. And I mean, we've got little stairs here and there that I just jump right over them. And here's me with this, messed up ankle, being able to do all these different activities again. So you know, it's improved, I think, my outlook on life too, because not only do I have more energy, but I can do this stuff and I'm 60. And isn't that cool? So that's kind of that side of the story too.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. So what I want a lot of people to know is they have many people have arthritis and they think, well, the doctor said I have arthritis. This is how my joints feel. But our food, the inflammation level in our body is really affecting it. And often people come for certain medical conditions and then they say, oh, well, I have this joint pain. And I say, well, we're high likelihood we're going to be able to get rid of this. And I think
Yeah.
people think, oh, yeah, right. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
I did
you're
too.
right. Yeah.
Right. And I remember the first time you asked me, how's your ankle doing? How are your knees? And how are those stairs? And I was shocked because I hadn't even thought about it. It wasn't even an issue. And that was probably like what, maybe a month in to, you know, the changes in my diet. Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me, because you were following me on Facebook for a while, probably seeing all of these posts, right? What were your thoughts, fears, trepidations before pulling the trigger to talk to me and actually doing it?
You know, I think it was just, oh gosh, what if I fail again? You know, and then I let Courtney down too, not just me. You know, I was really just afraid that I was going to start another program and lose the 20 pounds and then fall off. And so I think that was really my biggest concern, is that I didn't want to fail one more time, you know.
Yeah. How much have you lost now?
I've lost about 28 pounds
Yeah.
and
So you
yeah,
crushed your 20
I
pound.
I got over that.
Got over
And,
that?
and it was scary when I hit that number. I'm like, what do I do? You know, I'm at that number, and it was okay because I just kind of powered through it. And it usually ends up to be kind of a plateau for me. You know, and plateaus are, you know, kind of a struggle anyway. But I wrote down in my journal one day that I really wanted to look at plateaus as an opportunity to just sit with where I'm at and enjoy the fact that I've had this much progress, and then take a breath and move forward again.
Yeah. So what I want everybody to hear is the single reason why I do this is because I had gained and lost the same 60, 70 pounds minimum 5 times. It was probably seven. And putting the weight back on is so painful. It's shameful. It stole literally 20 to 30 years of my life going back and forth, that when I set myself free, I was like, I'm going to make it my mission to help people never have to go through that again. So we in Unlocked, we do functional nutrition, which is very important because if you're on a diet that's not meant for your body with your medical conditions, you're always going to be struggling and having cravings. And if we don't change on the inside, if we don't change our identity, if we don't rewire our subconscious brain, if we don't learn self-discipline, the same thing's going to happen. And so we combine both, and then tell us all of the health benefits, things that have happened with like your medication and weight, because now we're past the 20 pounds and we're going way past that. You're going to go way past that. What are the other things that have happened?
Well, health wise, I mean, definitely, you know, the medication reduction. And that was a big goal for me within this program too, is that I wanted to be able to reduce the medications that I'm on. And I've cut them in half. So I'm no longer even taking any blood sugar medication. My blood pressure medication, my cholesterol medication, everything's cut in half. So, I mean, that's a huge accomplishment at this point. And what I really like to do is to be able to, you know, if possible, I'd like to be able to not take anything,
Yeah.
and you know, other than maybe some supplements to keep me on track. And so that's definitely been a big health benefit. Every time I go to a doctor, they're like, "Wow, you lost weight," you know, and they write it down on their little chart. And so I think, you know, that's definitely something that's going to help me in the long run. Obviously, my joint pain is, you know, non-existent at this point. I can take a walk, I can ride a bike, I can do all these things. And I know it's still something that, you know, I didn't undo the damage that I had from injuries or stuff like that. But with the inflammation gone, I just don't have that constant daily pain that I'm having to, you know, endure too. Um, you know, just I feel stronger, I feel happier, I feel healthier. I have more energy, more time, it feels like, to do things. I'm focused on making sure I have the food prepared that I want to eat, that I know is right for me. And that's one thing too, Courtney, about Unlocked that I was really impressed with is that the program is geared to you as an individual. It's not like one size fits all. Marcy comes in and she gets the same program that everybody else gets. This was a program for me, and for the needs that I have, for my age, for my weight, for my body and my digestive system. Oh, and digestive issues, I think, are pretty much non-existent too. I feel so much better with that. And before Unlocked, I really couldn't eat raw vegetables. I really couldn't. They hurt and messed me up digestively for days. And so I could maybe sneak in, a half a salad here or there. But now, vegetables make up a pretty big chunk of my diet, and raw vegetables and cooked vegetables alike. But that's a really significant change too.
Yeah, that's a significant change. Off of half of your medication, down 28 pounds,
Yeah.
and your digestive system's better and your joints feel awesome, right?
Yeah.
Yes, this is amazing. Okay, what do you think has made Unlock different about implementing it from all the other diets, right? Because you and I both had tried 20 plus diets before we started. What do you think has made this different, sustainable? Yeah.
It's the whole person. It's not just, oh, let's make Marcy change what she eats, or, oh, let's make Marcy lift 30 pounds, or, oh, let's make Marcy walk 10,000 steps a day. There's so much that goes into Unlocked that touches the whole person. So we're not just working on what I eat and me logging my food and things like that. We're working on exercise and rewiring up here too, so that these are long-term changes and things that I'm really settled in with, that I'm really happy about, changes that are so good for me as a whole person. It's not like, oh, I'm doing this because Courtney's making me. It's really things that I know are healthy for me and making me a better and stronger person as a whole.
Yeah, awesome. Tell me about what the community, the group, and your buddies, what it is
Oh,
for you.
and
Yeah.
I pushed back on that. I struggled
Oh,
with
yeah.
it.
You were like, I
I
don't
don't
want to
know.
do
I don't want to
that.
do this. This isn't me. I don't like video myself. But you know what? I have met the sweetest and just um the most, I don't know how to describe my two buddies, especially. They're just such divine women. They're working on themselves like all of the rest of us are, right? And they're so compassionate and caring, and we really have each other's backs on so many different things. I think that it's all just support. It's not ever, well, you shouldn't have done that, or yeah, you shouldn't have eaten that thing, or whatever. There's nothing like that. It's all very, very supportive, very positive and uplifting. And I think we all kind of take it from the perspective of, how can I how can I uplift my buddy today? It's not like I have to go and, share all my dirt or dump or anything like that. It's nothing like that. It's really just a very uplifting community, very positive. And I love it when new people start the program too, because there's a new person that comes in and then everybody jumps on the chat, in the group chat. Hey, welcome, welcome, welcome. And I think that's got to just feel great for the person coming in the door who's scared, right? And trying something new, to have all of this community support then, coming at them from a really great group of people.
Yeah, thank you. So something that I would like you to share about, and only if you feel this way, for myself, when I rewired my brain and got myself on a diet that was meant for my body and I implemented all these tools, it was the first time in my life I trusted myself. Like I knew as I was losing weight, I was never going back. And I had never, ever, ever felt that before. I always felt like I was on thin ice. Like, when is the shoe going to drop, right? Like that I'm
Yeah.
going to put on all this weight again. So what is your experience with learning to trust yourself now?
Yeah. And I think, I'm I'm a numbers person, right? I do spreadsheets all day long. And so watching that scale is part of what I do. And I do weigh myself every day. I know that's not what everybody does, but I do weigh myself every day because of that feeling, right? I've felt like, oh my gosh, I'm on thin ice. I'm on thin ice. But I'm much more relaxed about that now because I know what I guess you could say like kind of what the formula is. I know that if I've, for example, had a day where, I've had a big meal at the end of the day, and maybe for me, that's not the best time for me to eat. I know that the scale is going to show that the next day. And, or if I have a day where I don't drink as much water, that the scale is going to show that for me the next day. So it's not frightening because I can't undo it. I know that, if I don't exercise, I'm going to see that show up in the scale too. So I'm able to feel confident in my own ability to make the changes that I need to make, to go in the direction that I want to go. And I'm accountable to myself in a different way too, I'm accountable to who I'm becoming, not just who I am today, but also to who I'm becoming and the goals that I have for the rest of my life. And, it's kind of more of a long-term view versus a diet is like, oh, I got to do this for 5 weeks, or oh, I got to do this for, 3 months or whatever. This is a long-term approach. And I'm looking at how do I want to be and what do I want to be like a year and a half from now? So it's a very different mindset, I think, than how I've approached things in the past.
Yeah, thank you.
And
Oh, sorry.
no, I was going to say too is that I like who I see in the mirror now too. You know, as a result of all this, I trust myself and I look in the mirror and I know that's a person I can trust.
That gives me chills, right? That's my greatest gift, That's my greatest gift, Marcy. Like that I could teach you to trust yourself, right? That's how you'll always be safe in this body. Like after all those years, like we both lived like that we
Yeah.
wanted something so different. And to be able to trust ourselves is like a miracle. And that's possible for everybody else. It is literally a skill that we build, and we do it through the modules. And it's the greatest gift of my life. And now you get to experience that. So, my question for you is if you were thinking back, if you could go into a time machine and you could talk to that Marcy who's like seeing all these posts, what would you say to her? What do you want her to know, knowing what you know now?
Wow. Yeah. I, I think that I wish that I had done this 25 years ago, 30 years ago, right? When I first really started to struggle with my weight. Um, and I'd want to tell that Marcy that I can trust myself, that I can do this, that this is achievable. And it's not that um, I have to hide behind the clothes that I wear because I, have overindulged in foods that just aren't good for me. And I really became addicted to sugar years and years ago. And, breaking that cycle has been just so freeing, so liberating. And to, to be able to accomplish that. I mean, if I could have done that 30 years ago, that would have been huge. But here I am today and I've done it now and I'm really happy with that fact. But I think if anything, I would just go back and tell myself, hey, you can trust yourself and you can do this.
Yeah, thank you. And one last question. Do you have any advice for anybody that might be listening and they're like, seems too good to be true? Seems too good to be true. Like, that's great for her. I've seen all these other things, other places. What would you say to them?
Oh gosh, I mean, if I can do it really truly, you can too, because I've lived it. I've lived the different diets. I've lived the yo-yo dieting. I have bought candy and cookies that are only available at certain times of the year and hoarded them in my closet because I've wanted them, throughout the year. And, those were kind of my sugar craving issues. And, that's not a part of what I do anymore. And I think really, truly, this is something that, um, you owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself to be able to have the health and the fitness and the strength, to enjoy your best life. And really truly, if this is something that I can do, anybody can do it.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I am very, very, very proud of you. And I look forward to you hitting your goals and then smashing them because I have a feeling you can't even grasp what is possible. So
That's exciting. That's great.
that's exciting. Okay. Thank you.